Hey everybody, it's Proud Drew Geraci, a longtime comic book industry veteran who's going on his 30th year. Ooh, I'm ancient. So we're going through my spinner rack as usual and pull out some gems that I keep around. Sometimes I rotate what's on my spinner rack because it can only hold so many. It can hold like a couple hundred, but something you get tired of looking at the same book sometimes. Silly as that sounds. This is my introduction to the Silver Surfer. I mean, I didn't have any reprints that showed him before, so I saw him on Hulk before I saw him on the FF. Marie Severin and inked by Frank Giacoia, and I love it because he adds a little bit of chisel because sometimes their lines could be soft, and I think they're just a terrific team, and I don't know how long they lasted. They did some other stuff together. I apologize. See? Go back to the 70s. Every other page was there were 2 pages of story, 2 pages of ads. That's really incredible, though. And look how she captures the Kirby in him, like the squiggle and everything. And she's a real chameleon. She can do a little of everything. That's a great menacing face. It goes, look, Hulk could lift you like a feather, but henceforth you will do so no more. That's a really strong, like Ramita type pose, but it's definitely her. I mean, it's not, she didn't really need any. She was the one would do repairs on artists, not on her. But, to keep stay on model. But I love that pose there where the Hulk's covered his eyes. All these cop cars are blinding him. And they're putting a flaming trap over him. He's confused. Silver Surfer takes pity. He goes, men of all that live, none are crueler to their own kind than they. So he decides to save the Hulk. He goes, I don't need you. I don't need anyone. All who leave need someone sometimes. You'll take me away from Earth, somewhere where I can stop running. That's one thing I cannot do. By order of Galactus, I am exiled to this planet. You lie. No one lies to the Hulk. And that's a real interesting way to, it's a great idea to do this. He says, I don't lie. And the Hulk grabs the surfboard. He's like, yep, there I go. I'm out of here. But Surfer's like, he controls it. Won't let go. He gets supercharged with a shock like a million live wires at once. This is just a spectacular fight. Earlier I showed on my other program, the other channel, it just says Drew Geraci's Comics. I had commented on issue 100 of Tales to Astonish, where the 2 leads, Submariner and the Hulk, fought, and she did a spectacular job. That knocks me. It still knocks me out. So much to enjoy, so much beauty. And he goes to cure the gamma cells out of him. He discovers all this stuff, but bonk, patak, and he leaves. And over here, Submariner, who I've never warmed up to. I mean, only recent years. But when I was kind of like, my whole hang-up was he wasn't visually interesting. I mean, the stuff Bill Everett did with him was great, and this is good too. This is Adkins, who. He swiped a lot of stuff, but I mean, he had worked with Wally Wood, who says, don't draw something if you could swipe it, don't blah blah blah. Little, not meaning a mass swipe fest, but once in a while, like the Doctor Strange that he did, borrowed a lot from Ditko and sort. But I did like the monster. I thought the monster was really cool. He sort of looks like Ben Grimm. I don't know if he's supposed to have scales, I guess. But, I just remember I liked the image. Love that. It's a robot, I guess. Somebody decided to put scales on. Because why not? And, call to battle. I'll tell you, everybody in my neighborhood had an Evel Knievel cycle. It came out right before Christmas. And everybody had it in the neighborhood. But then eventually we would make higher and higher jumps and gradually break all of our Evel Knievels. So how about this baby? I got this not brand new, but I put it in my spinner rack now. Anyway, these are just so cool. I mean, it's just so weird. The economy in the 70s I'd say like the whole decade, it was so wonky because we had energy crisis, we had a lot of stuff going on. So somehow, despite the fact that these Brave and the Bold books were excellent, and the Marvel's version of giant sized, X-Men, Iron Man, blah blah blah, there's so many fond memories of these. But I guess the people who did buy them really were passionate about them later on. Shining Knight. This is taken from a cover of Brave and the Bold where I had Shining Knight. I've seen the original, not the artwork, but the painted artwork. It is not reproducing here well, but Jack Adler, who was like the production guy for many, many years, he actually painted beautifully, like with watercolor or something. He did a lot of DC covers in the early to mid 60s. He did just a lot of, not the main characters, but like these kind of like the Brave and the Bold, which had a rotating cast. And he also did Challengers of the Unknown at post Kirby. Well, anyway, when I worked at CrossGen, what was framed was not the original black and white artwork, but it was the painting that Jack Adler did underneath, and then he got printed together, and it was just so amazing to see that. There was some great art on the walls there. Well, you got Jim Aparo. He's my Batman guy, because I didn't know about Neil Adams for a long time. So, nice, delicious stack of funnies. I call them funnies, just to be wise ass. That is great. Look how much it's in there. And there's Mr. Miracle. I've always loved him on those flying discs. When he joined Justice League back in '87, it really disappointed me how after the first half year of the book, there was no action. It was just blah ha ha stuff. And I'm like, you got a great lineup of characters. It's like, let's see more fight. I mean, you can still do the blah ha ha. So, just a little of everything in here. Like I said, I didn't have this as a kid, but later on I got it, and I really appreciated it. So it's just packed full of great stuff. So I look back at it once in a while. Okay, now to Captain Marvel, number 49. I've been following this title on and off. I got the very last. Let me think of what. No, I got my first issue was after Jim Starlin. It was the first Steve Englehart one where he completely wrote it, as opposed to helping Starlin with the dialogue. And I picked it up periodically, and sometimes it looked really inviting, and then sometimes it didn't. And I hate to say it, but I've said it before, Al Milgrom is very, very dependent on who inks him. I mean, he inks his own stuff, but it's like real hard, or it's kind of hard and sloppy. And I know he's going for the Jack Kirby kind of quickie stuff, but sometimes it really doesn't work, or it just wasn't appealing. But if he had a really badass inking genius of the future inking them, looks fantastic. But also, in all fairness, it wasn't just Al. It was also Steve Englehart's stories were becoming so. I don't know. They were not easily digested to the casual reader, so I wasn't really. I couldn't stay. It was over my head. So he wakes up, and Farrah Fawcett hair was a big deal at the time. We had Ms. Marvel and others with that hair. So they get it on in a nuanced way. This bald guy, he is a Kree who. The Krees have two kinds of races. I mean, not races, but they have two different pigmentations. One's blue skin, and one's, I guess, Caucasian skinned. Or pink skins, as the blue versions call them. And that's sweet. It's like Al has all the information there, but it's something he needs the right inker to really hit it home and really sweeten it up. And this is like one of the earliest. Great face. Right already. Look at that. Ooh, Ah, there we go. Ronan lives. And I loved him in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I thought the guy who played him was so good. So he blasts this one lady. For I am a Kree woman, and I am Death Woman. Your death. Wahahaha. Kind of Starlin-esque kind of layout, which works. And Al does this great thing. He picked up... Well, Jim Starlin started this, and then Al kept going with it. Ronan, this is no joke. That's the third panel is him getting in touch with his cosmic awareness. And it really opens up all his senses. It makes him very, very... I don't know, he could find weak spots when it comes to combat, or he could find out the truth. And I don't mean like hypnotism. It's just he has this knowledge. And I can't think what else he can do with it. Takes that down, goes after Ronan. That guy there. He was the not the wombat. He was this cougar. That's it. He was kind of goofy character. It's over, and she's dead. So it's it just struck me as really well written and drawn. The Creeper. Yeah, I got this in really good shape for like I don't know what I paid at a Comic-Con, but yeah, this is Ditko kicking ass. Sergius O'Shaughnessy was Dennis O'Neill's. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. Sergius O'Shaughnessy was Dennis O'Neill's. It was his, what do you call it? Nom de plume when he didn't want somebody else to know he was writing for them. But it also has his regular name too. It's bizarre. And that was a way to keep like Marvel DC from feeling like, back then they were extremely competitive. And, they were not keen on you working for another company. So, these half ads. And I'd love to see more of the Creeper. By Ditko, it didn't last long, and I've mentioned before that around this time, he had a horrible bout with tuberculosis that almost killed him, and he went back to Johnstown, PA, and his sister helped him recover over a year's time. So some people are like, oh, well, he left these books in Hawk and Dove because he was having a fit over the way it was, the lettering was, or the word balloons, and no. I mean, I can sort of see where that legend comes from, but not in this case. So, Creeper's Quarters. So cool. I love that character. He's a hard character to do a series with. I mean, there was a really good one that came out in the late 90s. I can't think of. Oh, Sean Martinborough was doing the art, pencils, and Sal Buscema did the inks, but only lasted 12 issues. Okay, here we go. The Invaders, baby. There is a Kirby cover laid out by Murray Severin. I've seen both versions in the Jack Kirby collector, and I just loved Invaders. I mean, I love anything with Captain America. I found it fascinating that it was a different Human Torch in the 50s, and he's the guy hanging around with Doctor Doom, so it was kind of interesting. And Bucky, he helped make me love this book because I didn't know about Bucky until Giant Size Invaders #1, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like Batman and Robin. But back then, especially, I liked Captain America more, and it's like he's got a kid sidekick. So in that way, I kind of thought like it'd be cool to have Cap as a big brother, Red Skull in the Sunset. Now, here's the change. Frank Robbins did most of the first. He did like the first 28 issues of the bi-monthly Invaders, and it was bi-monthly, then it went monthly, then it went bi-monthly again. But Roy Thomas is at the helm as usual. Rich Buckler and Dick Ayers penciler. So and you got Jim Mooney and Bellisher, who really ties it together nicely. I'm guessing that's Buckler. Yeah, that sort of stuff, the Kirby-esque stuff. Is very Buckler, but it's really basically they've been brainwashed by the Red Skull to like tear up a munitions plant in the States, and they're like, because look, there might be some guns around. Let's find them. Are you loco? What good will it do? But 3 of them are fireproof, and I've never heard bullets ever get past Cap's shield. Kaboom! Rich Buckler was everywhere. He must have drawn like, I don't know, 10 pages a day. And, well, this is a bit different. I'm thinking, like, okay, you have the bombast there. I'm thinking Dick Ayers took over with this page, and Jim Mooney himself was a penciler. He wrote, he penciled Supergirl, and he also penciled Ms. Marvel. So, you know, if you do layouts for him, he's going to deliver the goods. So, ooh, Reflections of a Rock Superhero. I was always curious, but I thought, I've never heard of the songs on the radio, and I thought, it also cost money. It cost $7 when comics were a quarter. Sorry, it's no decision to be had. It's definitely there. And, yeah, it's definitely Dick Ayers, too, because it just has a different feel to it. And I really like how the faces of Toro and Bucky are looking at these comics. And that probably is what I look like. Toro is so weird, though. You know, he's a junior Human Torch, long story. But he only dressed in trunks and boots. And even at dinners and stuff. And I'm like, you know, put a shirt on or something. Even if it, you know, because when they would, after the story, this leads into an issue of Marvel Premiere that introduces the Liberty Legion, and it goes back to Invaders, then to Liberty Legion a second time, 4-part story. But the thing is, Roy Thomas got these obscure characters from the 40s that to fight the Invaders, and one of them was the Patriot. He had bare legs, you know, and when he got the upgrade, he had blue, legs, blue pants. So I'm like, why didn't they do that to Toro? Give him a shirt on, for gosh sakes, you know. It seems so odd. So, and we're back to Buckler. These two are, top figures are swipes, but you know. Boy, oh boy, that was so good. I love that. Oh, yeah, here. And he went back to the Mighty Marvel checklist. And, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. And there we go. Yeah, here's still Buckler. I think he finishes this too, because that's from a late Tales to Astonish, where Tales of Suspense, where the Skull is trying to convince Cap that he's crazy and he's reliving World War II. So I remember that. And so he's in this big old hole in the sky, and he gets suckered into it. Focus, people. Okay. And Submariner foolishly goes up. Cap, there's a Kirby splash from Tales of Suspense there, or splash panel. And he's like, nothing's happening. My one chance is my shield. It's like, Clue and Bucky gets really pissed off. Come on, what are you waiting for, creep? So that's the same pose you saw a few seconds ago. It's like, you're not even worth. You're merely a mascot, a camp follower, and I'm no use for you. Like, no. What I really like is this long panel, and he's like squished down, almost like he's squeezing through a tunnel, an underground tunnel, but it works. And Bucky's in a state of shock. He pounds on the door. FDR comes in a Steranko pose from the cover of Cap 110, I think it was. And I told him to calm down. And he's like, I better leave. The important things like fighting wars to grown-ups. And, they're a little... He's a bit upset, crestfallen, but boy, oh boy, this is such a great book. And the characters from Marvel Premiere, which I should show you sometime. I mean, I've reread those a million times, and it's still fun. I mean, some of the verbiage is incredibly indulgent, and that kind of like it purple prose a little bit. But so what? It was the Invaders. Why not? And that's it for now. I will be back before you know it.